sports as much as we do,
you came to the right place.
we're here to bring you weekly episodic sports shows each and every week on
Roger and Greg SportsTalk.com. You can also find us on YouTube, like us on Facebook. We're also on Twitter.
We look forward to bringing you hot topic sports each and every week. Thanks, guys. We're just getting started.
Welcome, everybody, to Roger and Greg Sports Talk. We're live and we're back. I have Greg on the webcam. What's up, Greg? How's it going?
Good, how's it going, Roger? It's been a while.
Yeah, it certainly has, fans, and we're back and we're better than ever. Greg, why don't you start off and tell them why we've been away for so long?
Well, Roger has relocated to Texas, and we've been working on new ideas for the show, and we're going to hopefully run some of these ideas by you guys and see what you guys like. Roger?
Yes, sir. We're going to certainly try to catch your attention and to draw in some more fans. So, if you please, give us a chance and watch this video, and I hope you like our episode. Greg, I got some a new idea for us. We both thought of this up. We're going to try something a little bit different this time, fans. Instead of getting our opinions, we're going to do a little true or false. I'm going to ask Greg some questions and get his opinion on it. Alright? Greg, you ready for this?
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun, but I just want to tell the fans before we get going, I have a major announcement at the end of the show. We have a very huge wrestling star coming to the show. I will let you guys know who that is at the end of the show. Go ahead, Roger.
Sounds very exciting, and I can't wait to hear who it is, and definitely should draw a lot of attention to us, and I hope everything works out, and I can't wait to hear it. Okay, Greg, so let's get going. I got a first question for you. A lot of buzz has been going around this story, around ESPN and all. Let's talk about Peyton Manning. So, Greg, true or false, with all the lawsuit allegations going on for Peyton Manning, would you say that it ruined his legacy?
I don't think it necessarily ruined his legacy. I think it ruined his, image. I think sponsors are going to slowly drop out. I think that the NFL really could care less if he retires or not. So I'm going to have to say that it's false. I don't think it ruined his legacy. He is who he is.
I would agree. All right, second question is about the Los Angeles Clippers. As you know, they were making some moves, and there were some questions, some speculation that they would break up their main core players. Guys like Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan. Greg, did you feel at any time that they would break them apart? Do you feel like true or false?
I think that's true. I think if the Clippers could have got a good enough deal for Blake Griffin, but they basically wanted a superstar plus a first-round draft pick, and that was never going to happen. They basically knew that. And I think with the team that they have now, they could make a deep run into the playoffs.
I agree as well. Okay, let's talk a little Albert Pujols. Albert Pujols, Greg, do you feel like it would be wise for Albert Pujols to come back as scheduled? Do you feel like it would benefit the team most for them to bring him back early?
Yeah, I say true. They would definitely benefit. I say get the man on the field, get some of the bats underneath him, and I think he'll be ready by opening day.
Even though that they might have him only as a DH because, as you know, he had surgery on his right ankle in November, so that would limit his abilities to play first base.
But there's a DH spot open for him.
I agree. I think he should come back as a DH. All right, Greg, true or false, do you feel like the New York Knicks will rebound and make the playoffs this year?
I say that is going to be false. I just think there's too many good teams in the East. I think the Wizards, who are the ninth seed looking in, have the best shot, and the Knicks aren't even anywhere near them. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to say that's false. They're not making the playoffs.
Okay, Greg, and let's switch gears back to baseball. I want to talk about the New York Yankees. True or false? Do they have the best bullpen in baseball ever since adding Aroldis Chapman as their closer?
Yes, I've done massive research on this, and I honestly, as the fans know, I'm not a huge Yankee fan, and I honestly can't find a bullpen that's this solid, this proven. Yes, Boston has had a Kimball, but who else do they have besides him? Many guys, many teams have aces, closing pitchers, but they don't have a good eighth inning guy or a good seventh inning guy. You're going to have to beat the Yankees in 6 games this year just to have a chance. Because 7th, 8th, and 9th are basically lockdown innings, and you get the Yankees in the playoffs, there would be one team. So I say that's true.
I would agree. All right, that's all the questions I have for you, Greg. Do you have any true or false or facts or fiction questions for me?
I have some true or false questions for you. True or false, the Yankees will make the playoffs.
I would say false. I feel like the American League East has gotten way stronger. Like Boston, they've added like guys like David Price and Craig Kimbrell, as you mentioned earlier. And with that 1-2 punch alone, I feel like David Price can win them up to 15 to 17 games this season, and Kimbrell can save games up to like 30 to 40 games. So I would have to say false. I know the Yankees bullpen is awesome, but I feel like they need much improvement in their starting rotation. So I would say false. They're not going to win.
I'm going to have to agree. I'm going to agree with you on the Boston Red Sox part. The Boston Red Sox have needed pitching last year. Their offense basically kept them in the season until late September. So I would say, yeah, I definitely agree in your Boston aspects. Okay, Roger, do you see the Mets? True or false, are the Mets going back to the World Series?
I would like to say true, but I feel like there's a lot of National League teams who's gotten better as well. I just don't see the Mets getting back to where they once were. I mean, they're going to win like 90, 95 games, I believe. That pitching is just outstanding. But I truly believe that they're not going to go back to the World Series. You might see them go deep into the playoffs, but they're not going to go back into the World Series.
Okay, you'll see why it'll give me the opinion. Okay, true or false? Is this the Cubs year?
I think that the Cubs are adding a lot of potential, like guys like Jason Hayward, Ben Zobrist. They certainly got the offense, and they certainly got a good pitching rotation, but I just feel like it's going to take them maybe another year to get used to playing with each other and get winning under their belt. So I think they're gonna make it to the playoffs this year, but I don't see them succeeding. I think they'll get eliminated within first or second round.
Okay, so you're saying false. Okay, now on to one of your favorites, the Atlanta Braves. Do you see the Atlanta Braves having a winning record this season?
I'm going to have to go with false. They're not going to have a winning season. They're a good up-and-coming team. They've added a lot of young pieces. They also unloaded a lot of good pieces to their team, and they got to figure out how to work together. They got to figure out how to play as a unit and build their confidence as a young team. So no, they're not going to have a winning record.
I agree with you, and the last true or false question is, will the Twins make the playoffs?
Twins are, I would say, if I had to compare them to my Atlanta Braves, I would say they're better, but they're a good, young, solid team as well. So I feel like give them a couple years, and I feel like once their young players progress more and they add a little bit more better starting pitching, I would say that they're in the playoffs.
A couple years. Wait, stop. A couple years. We missed the playoffs by 3 games last year. A couple years.
Yeah, but their starting rotation is getting older, and the new guys who they have coming up, like Miguel Sciano, he's proved to be pretty decent, but I still think he can have more experience under his belt and become like that true valuable asset that I know he can be.
I absolutely, totally disagree with you. I believe maybe one more year it won't be there, but I think we can get there this year.
And Greg, what else do you have in store for you? Don't you have something new for the people? It's called Greg's Tidbits.
Yeah, I have a portion of the show where I just read off random sports topics going on that we're not going to be able to cover due to time constraints. CM Punk going against Gil. That has been postponed from UFC 199. They're trying to push it to UFC 200. I want everybody to keep in mind before you buy this fight, CM Punk is 1-15 in pre-fights. It's where they basically have fights, they're unsanctioned in the gym. But 1-15, before you go spend $75, think about that. I want to send a congratulations to the the Super Bowl 50 champion Broncos. And I would like to say, Cam Newton, you disappointed me. I cannot believe you didn't go after that fumble. I cannot believe the game is on the line and you didn't dive to the ball. Berenjow to the Warriors. Very interesting that the Warriors are going to pick him up. That's got to help them down the middle. And my big announcement for next week's show, next Sunday, is we're going to have ECCW star Johnny Blaze on the show. We'll be able to ask some questions. If you have any questions, email the show that you want us to ask him. If you don't know who ECCW is, they made stars like the likes of Marty Jannetty, Gene Snitsky, and Just Incredible. That's all I have, Roger. Thank you.
Oh, that's exciting news, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it. Johnny Blaze going to be on our show next Sunday, so make sure you catch that show. It's going to be very exciting. We're going to ask him a whole bunch of wrestling topic questions and everything. Thank you, Greg, for being on the show. I appreciate it. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. Before we go, we're going to have Roger's final thoughts. And tonight I want to talk about Hulk Hogan being fired from the WWE. Now, I've been a Hulk Hogan fan since the 80s, since I was old enough to walk. So I think it's completely despicable the way that WWE treated him, like completely took him out of the WWE network, completely erased him from WWE completely. I just think that's horrible. He deserves so much more, and they're putting him out like he hasn't done anything. Like he hasn't earned anything that he has accomplished in his career. Hogan made a mistake. Yes, he said some pretty messed up racist things, but we all are children of God, and we all gotta learn to forgive and forget. I mean, people say things when they're angry. I've certainly said things that I didn't mean when I was angry, but we all gotta learn that not to take all that stuff seriously. Now, the lesson for today is that if you believe in God, you know that God says that you must forgive thy neighbor in order to be forgiven. So, after all this man has done, he's being such a role model throughout the 80s, saying, say your prayers, eat your vitamins. All of that goes a long way. You people got to realize this guy isn't Hulk Hogan when he's not in the ring. He's just a normal man. He makes mistakes just as much as anybody. I think that everybody should need to cut him a break. He's been through a lot. I know he has a certain standard he has to live up to because he's a celebrity, but he's also a human being too. And that's what we all got to remember. He's just a human being, and he needs forgiveness. And WWE, if you ever come across from this, I hope to see him back in the ring one day. I hope to see him not wrestling, maybe just like as a promoter or something like that, but I'd like to see him back in the ring. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who stands on that point, but I would really like to see him back in the ring. And that's all I got to say about that. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you have any questions for us, or if you want to hear like a certain topic or whatever, you can email us. My email address is Rogers, Rogers, Enterprise845 @yahoo.com. And Greg, you want to give them your email address?
Your email is GregTwins420@yahoo.com.
Yeah, just email us and leave a comment, leave a question if you have any, and we'll be sure to look at it, review it, and we'll take care of it the next show. You can find us on Facebook, like us on Twitter. Just give us a holler if you want to hear something or if you want to give us any ideas. Thank you very much for watching. Peace. Have a good night.